Okay, now they say a farmer grew some young plants far apart from one another to prevent overcrowding. Explain why growing far apart benefits. So this one talk about overcrowding, right? So the keyword is actually to prevent overcrowding so that the young plants do not need to compete with the parent plant for a few things. For sunlight, water, space, and nutrients. Okay, so quite simple this part. To prevent overcrowding, so that the young plants do not need to compete with the parent plants for sunlight, water, space, and nutrients. Okay, next, the farmer found many tiny insects feeding on the stem of his plant during the day. These insects use their mouth to dig into the stem of the plant as shown here. Explain why this insect feed on the stem. Okay, this tests your understanding about the food carrying tubes. Okay, so you need to explain. So you say that these insects are feeding the food through the food carrying. Okay, food carrying tubes actually, as you know, is called a phloem, right? But nowadays, PSLE, they want you to use this word instead of phloem. Okay, these insects are feeding the food through the food carrying tubes of the plant. As they probe, or dig their mouth into the stem as they probe their mouth into the stem. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, this tiny insect, they produce sweet, sticky substance from their bodies, as you can see. These are actually the aphids. If you'd like to know, you can put aphids, aphids. Okay. Large ants could be found near this insect, but they do not feed on them. Explain why is it an advantage for the large ant to be near this insect. Okay, that's mean they say that the big ants don't eat them. So they ask you explain why it is advantage for the large ant to be near this insect. That's mean why is it good for this tiny insect? So you can talk about the large ants, right? Protect these small tiny insects from being eaten by predators. Okay. So you see the large ants. Wait, small letter. The large ants protect these tiny insects from potential predators which may attack them. So it's like giving them a free security coverage. Oh. Okay, the tiny insects do not have wings and cannot move. Explain why it is an advantage for a tiny insect to have a large ant near them. So these large ants, right, actually give them a free ride. Okay, do not have wings and cannot move far. Okay, so they hitch the ride on the large ants. So does it explain why? So you say these tiny insects may ride on or get so-called free rides, inverted comma, from the large ants. as they move about quickly. Actually, ants move quite fast, compared to the body size. Okay. This tiny insect may get free rides from large ants as they move about quickly. So once again, this question appeared in 2018. Okay. So I've explained these two questions. And then we'll continue for today's lesson proper.